podcast. You are with Chris Lovers, aka DJ Matchmaker. For those of you that know, you know I am out here with a Castle Club official, Chief Rocka. Chief Rocka in the building. He's coming in right now. Chief Rocka, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Get in here. Let them know who you are, brother. I just got a chance to intro myself. Go ahead and intro you.
Yeah, how you guys doing? My name's Chief Rocka. I'm from Arlington, Texas, 28 years old. I'm a trucker, and yeah.
Good stuff, man. Yo, so for anyone that doesn't know about this podcast, me and him are in the red pill space. We're in the fresh and fit space. And as of late, the trucking industry has got massive attention from the guys as something that we want to be in because it actually has a lot of exclusive benefits. I mean, right off the rip, you're traveling across the country, you're meeting people and connecting with people across the country, and you're making some pretty damn good dollar bills. Can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about that, Chief?
Yeah, well, me, myself, I'm more on the OTR, which is over the road. I'm more local, regional. So I kind of stay within Texas. Sometimes I go to Oklahoma. But yeah, I'm 9 months in. And from what I learned so far, it's obviously not easy. It made me have so much more respect for the truckers, before I even got on myself. It's really crazy out here. Yeah. Wherever that is that you are, you end up realizing that. Sorry, I'm just losing my thought. You just appreciate the little things even more. I'm learning a lot as I go. I'm still hardly new to all this. And I'm always like scouting for the next big thing. You always want to go and get your endorsements, which is basically like classifications to do extra stuff like hazmat and tankers. Obviously, the more endorsements you have, hauling double trailers as well, that's also another endorsement. You get to have the privilege of doing more things and obviously get paid a little bit more. But yeah.
Good shit, man. I want you to know right here, right now, you are doing a great job. As we do this podcast thing, podcasting, for you guys that don't know, is a muscle. I am the podcast host. It is my job to host you. If you feel like you need a little help, just go ahead and say, yo, help me out here, Chris Lovers, DJ Matchmaker. I got you, brother. I got you all the way.
Also want to let you know, just in case, for some reason, it's been like timing out. So that's it. If it exits me out, I'm going to just try to hop back in as fast as I can. I don't know why it's being like that right now. It's being a pain.
No problem, man. But check this out. Lo and behold, you and me, Chief, we actually have a mutual connection in this red space. It was really cool that you got a chance to message me all about that during the Zoom call that we had. Go ahead and introduce how some of our mutual connects here.
Well, for instance, I didn't know that you're related to John MLD, and he's actually a really, really cool guy, and he's actually my mentor. I actually heard through him through the podcast with Fresh and Fit, and then I saw him on the whatever podcast with that one crazy bimbo. Big tails, I'm talking about the bang girl. Oh my gosh, yeah, I think that was like the video that really got him like out there. That's what he's like mostly known for, being that guy on whatever podcast talking to that one girl. But yeah, mutual friends through him, and even people they're actually part of John MLD actually follow Fresh and Fit. I think there's even like one or two guys are part of the Castle Club as well.
Good stuff, man. I'll tell you this. When Fresh and Fit started in 2020, I got a chance to tell this to Fresh and Fit, Fresh and Myron. I've actually got the fortune of being a viewer since the very beginning of their podcast. When did you start to tune in and see this take off?
I want to say a little after early 2022. Yeah, that's, man. So I think like during COVID, man, thing was going crazy. I was actually a little bit more about me. I was actually in a relationship at that time, actually with the mother of my child. And just like a lot of people during COVID, you get stuck with somebody and you really get to start seeing like the real side of them. Like we were only together for like maybe like 6 months, and unfortunately, it didn't last that long. But we conceived a child, that we loved dearly. But it was pretty tough around 2020, and then I was like, started thinking to myself, what is it I want to do in my life? I'm about to be a father, and I need to change, because during that time, I'm not gonna lie, I was a pretty big degenerate myself. I was really arrogant and really dumb, doing things very obnoxiously, without even thinking it. And luckily, I got blessed. I believe there's a higher power, and I was tested a lot. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Amen. Amen. God all the way, brother. Let me tell you something about this child. That is a gift, man. I'll tell you this. I have brothers that we're doing accountability partnerships with in our group, right? And some of them, their goal, their biggest goal in the world is just to have a family and just to have kids. And you already have that blessing at age 28, man. So just the fact that you have that, you know, maybe we don't always get the perfect relationship, but as you can imagine, that matchmaker structuring out relationships is very important to me. And we take a great deal of time to recruit and structure out relationships. But having a child, bro, the most beautiful, I'll tell you, I'm 33 years old. My heart longs to have these beautiful children sometimes, man.
It's a wonderful feeling, man. It's a wonderful feeling, and that's what really drove me. Like, man, like I'm about to be a father. I don't want to be a loser to my child that's coming into this world. You know, like I was doing some pretty bad things. You know, illegal activities where I could have gotten in trouble with the law and it could end up in prison, or eventually end up dead for the things I was doing. But I had to do a whole 180, and by this time, like during like 2020, me and his mom was getting pretty rocky in the relationship, and it's coming to that point where we realized that it wasn't going to work out. So I ended up moving out. We were living together, and then I decided, you know what? I really need to do something in my life. While I was trying to figure this out, I was also doing Uber and Lyft, so I really got to figure out what is it that I really wanted to do. And then it hit me, you know what? I'm going to join the military. So I started preparing for that. I started preparing for the military. I went to go take my ASVAT. I got a decent score. I think it was like a 7.2. So I was eligible for a couple of good things. I think I was going to do 91 Fox, which is small weapons artillery. So I was already meeting with the recruiter, already going to MEPS, taking a test, and I was going to have my physical next. So it was getting pretty serious at that point. And it was like around close to like the winter of 2021. And that's when my dad went to go get checked up, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer.
Ooh, I'm so sorry, man. That's fucking sad.
Yeah, man, it's a motherfucker, but you know, things happen for a reason. So my dad was like, hey, I realized that you want to go into the military and all this. You think you could push that off for maybe a little bit, you know? Mind you, I was just doing Uber Eats and just doing small little gigs here and there. So like I was really prepared to go. So I was like, damn. I was like, well, I don't have an actual job, so I think I need to get myself a job. So I started applying for warehouse jobs, and then the one place that hit me up really quick, this is like in Thanksgiving. I was applying for jobs during Thanksgiving, actually, now that I think about it. And I applied for FedEx on Thanksgiving. I was at my aunt's house watching the Cowboys game, and I was just applying. And sure enough, I ended up getting called back from FedEx. And then, sure enough, December 3rd of that same year, I ended up getting hired and became a seasonal package handler, working overnight. And I'm not gonna lie, it freaking sucked. But you know, I realized I had a son, so I had to do what I do. You know, I had my dad and family to support, so I had to, you know, tough it out. You know, so sure enough, I sticked around towards the end of the season, and they asked me, "Hey, would you like to stay? Like, you're one of our best performance people here." I was like, "Sure." I don't know how long, you know, this is gonna last, but hey, you know, if you tell me you can guarantee me a full-time position here, then sure. A couple months go by, and then sure enough, they had his position, which is called switcher, which basically is like a yard dog. So it's like those yellow units that stay within the yard and hook up to the trailers that the contractors come and drop off. So we hook up to those trailers, then we back them up to the side of the warehouse so the packagers inside can open up the doors and start taking the packages out. So that's what I was doing. And I got promoted and got like a little extra pay raise. I did all in a span of like less than 5 months. And I think it's just because like I was driven. I had, you know, something to live for, had my son, and try to be a good son that I can for the folks. And then sure enough, I was doing that for about a year and a half. And then a friend of mine doing the same position as me is like, hey, look, I just applied for like their tuition and I'm about to go to trucking school. I can show you how to do it. I did it easy. I got approved. I got the grant, and I'm going to trucking school next week. I'm like, bet. So sure enough, I applied myself, got accepted, got the money with the trucking school. Went to 160 Driving Academy. Shout out to them out of Fort Worth, Texas. And then sure enough, that was that was kind of a challenge. I was a little nervous not too much because I was already familiar with how to maneuver a trailer and backing up because that's what I was doing as a yard dog. So wasn't too nervous about that, but I think the written tests, I don't know why, but when it comes to like written tests and stuff like that, it really gets to me a bit. Sure enough, I passed, got my permit, took all the steps I had to do. And then sure enough, I got my CDL. And sure enough, within the same company, FedEx, there were some contractors that were hiring for brand new truckers, and sure enough, I applied. And, 10 months coming on already, and here I am.
Good shit, Chief Rocka. So let me go ahead and summarize a lot of the things that you said there. That's a lot of things. And shout out to Brother Chase. Brother Chase is in the building. We see you, Brother Chase. Go ahead and keep writing your comments in here, man. We're going to put them up on the screen. So let's go rewind a little bit. 2020, FNF comes out. I get a chance to see them. I actually see my cousin on there for the first time. And I thought that was a very cool thing, because at the time I thought, you know what? Let me let those boys do what they got to do. And even though I'm here in Florida, I'm only going to reach out to them and talk to them if I really brought some heat, if I got something like hot, like some heat that's going on for them, Now, I just left right now from the gym and was doing a boxing session with another brother who was in the military like yourself, so that is very, very cool to see that you're military affiliate, or well, not affiliated, but you were in the military, and that really probably helped your life a lot. So I would go on to ask you this. Do you think, in your opinion, that what you said, you were involved in a lot of things that seemed pretty hardcore for you? And on that topic, I'll just go ahead and say, cousin MLD, I literally know from childhood, I witnessed him turn a hard life around. That he went through some hard motherfucking things in life, and he turned it around for the better. So you're picking a good mentor. Do you think entering fatherhood changed the course of your actions? Is that what was going on there?
Absolutely, 100%. I even had that talk with my folks at the dinner table, a couple nights, and they told me, Anthony, like, what would, that's actually my middle name, Anthony. So they were like, Anthony, do you really think that you would be in the position you're at now if you didn't have your son? And I was like, no, to be honest, I wouldn't. I probably would end up dead, or I'd be in prison, one of the two. I really don't know where I would be.
So here at Matchmaker, as you can imagine, right, when I got a chance, and I'm sure you know this story to some degree, when I got a chance to bring Matchmaker, or matchmaking, which is also Pop the Balloon now, over to FNF, what that did on a psychological level is kind of let men know, like a big message to the men know, we have our women, we get to advance our life forward. If the mating strategy is secure, we get to advance our life forward. And look at how, at 28 years old, having a kid and your connection to God literally advances your life forward for the better. Whereas you're saying, when I'm out there and I'm on my own and I'm lone wolfing it with the BS that they're teaching us, Sigma male this, Sigma male that bullshit, all this bullshit that they're trying to brainwash you into believing on the internet, like you're supposed to be alone and hustle alone and do all these things alone, led you on a path that you were able to turn around because you are fighting for more than just yourself. You're fighting for a beautiful son.
Yep.
Your son. So that leads me on to the topics that we're talking about here. So when I got a chance to, before the podcast, I sent you some bullet points that we talked about with some of the other brothers in this whole community we got. We talk about Matchmaker, we talk about demoralization, and then we talk about love, then we talk about solutions. Demoralization, I'll catch you up on it. There's a segment that's very popular, right? It's actually in a video that Myron wants us to watch. And that it's also an Alex Jones related content, right? Demoralization is the process by which that you could, if this was a human being, this jar of peanut butter right here, if this was a person, you could beat this person up with the truth. You could show them the truth, and you could show them the truth over and over and over. You could tell them the truth, very much like being a red pillar. But no matter how much you show them the truth, they've been so demoralized from school on to now that they can't even see the truth for what it is. So, in the context of red pill, I'll give you an example. Like, for example, you could tell dudes, like I get a chance to tell dudes all the time, there is a better way to recruit women. There's a better way to be in the world. You don't necessarily have to have one girl or get married to this one girl, or like, you don't have to do it in the traditionally format that it was in the past that worked very well. But even though I say that, if their response is anger, if their response is no, it cannot be this way, they're too demoralized to know that that the truth could be something else. Or like, if you wanted to get into the world of conspiracies, if you don't believe that the moon landing happened, right? You could say that I don't believe that the moon landing happened, but if they're if that is the truth, the absolute truth, that it never happened, but you tell them it never happened and they have to believe the moon landing happened, they're too demoralized for you to have a different viewpoint and tell them the truth. So a big problem is relationships, right? A big problem is the male and female dynamic, because what I'm coming to witness is dudes, like, for example, when I was with my boy Demoy just now, bro, I went through and I stacked up shorties. I just stacked up shorties. I got 2 more on the phone just now. I had him do it too. Every time we go up, we're stacking up on these shorties, man. And all you ladies that watch this, you know the truth. You know I do what I do. It is what it is. But now, when it comes to you, brother, I wanted to ask you, in your life, based on what I just said, do you, in your personal life or life as an American in general, or for the whole world, see demoralization happening in front of your eyes?
100%. 100%.
Give me examples, brother. Tell me what you see.
Man, well, I think it's one instinct where I was actually at a bar not too long ago, and I was playing pool table. You know, I can be an introvert, but I can be also extroverted. So I go out to this bar, and I'm that type of guy can just go up and like, hey, I got a couple quarters. Mind if I join in and play? So I'm joining this couple, right? And I'm realizing that like the more this couple's drinking, the more his chick is just starting to turn to a different person, starting to bash him in front of everybody. Not too many people are realizing, but I'm seeing like the little things, you know, like I'm like, it's me and one guy and then the couple, right? And they're both kind of drunk, so they're kind of like missing their shots. But when it comes to the man missing a shot, she just has these negative punts that she's throwing. I'm like, oh man, like really? You could have done that? Like you suck at this, yada, 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 and all this, right? And it gets to the point where they start arguing and like everyone's starting to notice. And then she starts like bashing him down, saying like, you're not a real man and all this and all that. And then at one point, she like tells her friend, because her friend's there too, and her friend's not the best friend, I would say, but was just like, I like F him, like come on, girl, like let's just go do something else. Like she was willing to leave her man there, and they go out somewhere else, I guess, to go get attention from somewhere else. And then she, the girl was just like, you know what, we could honestly just hop on a plane right now, and we would have such a good time. Saying this in front of his guy. Right. And the guy just at one point just stops talking. And I like look over at my bro, like, have some like respect for yourself, have a backbone. And then she's like, him have a backbone? And she starts laughing. She's like, please. And they walk off and go out to the bar. And I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck is going on, man? Like, what happened to the respect around here? You know what I mean?
Not only did she not respect him, she was happy to disrespect him, which shows
100%.
you
Yep.
in his life, there's probably a whole lot of things going wrong, right?
I can only imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, let's talk about that. For example, what we're coming to easily see with our eyes, especially if you're a red pill person, you're easily able to determine that school systems are set up to lie to you. You're easily able to determine that pharmaceutical companies are set up to lie to you. It's easily able for you to determine that the government has no problem lying to you. Yeah, you're right, Brother Chase. That man had no frame whatsoever. So because he had no frame, which, you know, I'll go ahead and say, I think that Jonathan, MLD, popularized the word frame, game frame muscles, because that's a Trinidadian slang term. That's something from Trinidad. I'm part Trinidadian, he's part Trinidadian, we're mixed. And that comes from those islands, boy. So that got popularized in America, I believe, by him. So if that's true, when you go ahead and get a chance to talk to him, ask him if he popularized that term, and we'll see if that's true. But as I was going on to say, that for the average person, right, the average man, let's just talk about men, because men are ordained by God to be having dominion over the earth. It's up to men to kind of teach the women how to be, right? That the average man is being lied to. So we're kind of playing, like, as soon as he is born, it's almost like he's playing a game of dodgeball, but he's getting pummeled by all these blue motherfucking lying balls hitting him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's out here, he's just getting tormented and tormented. But some of us absolutely know. Some of us absolutely know that we are being lied to and we are being scammed. And some of us are just some of the people are just so lied to that they'll fight for the lie, right? They're so demoralized, they'll fight to stay demoralized. So they want to be beaten to death with the dodgeballs. So what I've gone and have you learned from my perspective, Chief Rocka, is that I've been instituting love into the people that I work with, right? So example, when I invite the guys to the Hard Rock Casino and I go ahead and I get a chance to talk with them, I'm not approaching things from a fuck this bitch mentality, because I've run into that, right? There's a lot of dudes that think that is masculinity, and it's not. I tell people I'm not a player. You know, you see me with large amounts of women. I'm not a player. What is happening here is that I do care about these people. I do want to know their name. I do want to know them and love them and talk to them. And if they so choose to move out of my life, that's their mistake, not mine. So what happens is that I am cordial, I'm gentlemanly, and I am nice in the proper frame, right? Because I know where I'm coming from in that frame. And what happens is that when I teach men love, come to find out, the majority, not the minority, but the majority of them don't know, and verbatim will tell me, don't know what love is. They're usually about your age or younger, don't have any real experience with love. But you actually have a child. So in your own words, based on failures, based on successes, based on the context of a man having love for a relationship or a girl falling in love with you, can you go ahead in your own words, go tell us, the people watching, what is love?
Well, for me, definitely didn't realize what really love was until like I had my kid. Excuse me. The thing that I realized is like before I had my son, I didn't care what had happened to me. I didn't care if I died, I died. You know, if I end up in a certain situation, it is what it was. But once my son came to this world, I was like, oh my gosh, now I have a genuine fear of like dying. If something happens to me, who the hell is going to take care of my son? Who's going to be the best influence on my son? And that's when I realized like I was willing to go to hell and back for my son. That's when I realized that was like pure love. Like if God came down to me and he was like, if you want your son to be in a better place in the hereafter, but that means you have to make the ultimate sacrifice, I'd do it in a heartbeat. I'd suffer for eternity so I can know that he'd be good.
Would you say that not only has your son given you purpose, but you understand concepts of selfishness versus selflessness?
Yes. I realized me actually being a dad that I had to be actually a lot more selfish, but selfish in a good way, to put myself in the best position I can for my son. If that makes sense.
100%. It shows that you have so much purpose that you're willing to lay it all on the line for someone that's not you, but comes from you. That beautiful way of thinking, I don't know if I should call you Chief Rocka or Anthony now. That beautiful way of thinking is very important, I think, to men, especially men, because what happens is when you have love, you know what you're fighting for. And we're all able to fight, but when you know what you're fighting for, you're unfucking stoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And your future is a clear path. And your direct divine connection to God couldn't be more clear because you know what you exist for. I'll go ahead and give you a quick story about one of our brothers who's 20, right? In him being 20, he just recently was at high school. So I got a chance to ask him what high school is like. He says that the women, all the females, all of them that he's experienced want to do nothing but be lazy and have TikTok attention. And that's it. That's all that they do. That's the sum total of their life. I asked him about how the men are. He says, without exaggeration, the men are dumb, don't care about anything, and also just want to be on the internet all day streaming. So, here we are podcasting, talking about the country. I always hang my American flag because I'm concerned for my people. I only do this because I'm concerned about my Americans, and I love my people. I love America, and I love everything that we fight for, and I love everything that we stand for when we're doing it the right way. On the topic of demoralization and the fact that these girls are willing to sell their sexuality for pennies, right? And I explain it like this to people. I explain it like if this was a woman and she was a valuable woman, what people are doing is cracking open the woman and extracting all the money that she's worth, like an egg. So at 22 years old, you're extracting whatever she's worth. If she's so beautiful, she's worth millions of dollars of OnlyFans money. People are taking that. But by the time that you take that and she hits 26, then hits 29, then hits 36, she's worth nothing. She's worth nothing. But the same 36-year-old that never did that would be worth so much to a man because he could love her because she was lovable. Right? So, I'm over here in Florida. I see people selling their soul for a dime a dozen. I'd say 1 in 4 women are on OnlyFans. I'd say, and the majority of men are pussies. Straight up pussies. They don't even talk to the girls. But you somehow were able to kindle a relationship and get a child, the most beautiful gift in the world. So on that, still on this like we went from love topic A now to love topic B. On love topic B here, do you see a lack of love in your community, in the country? And when you do see a lack of love, what does it look like? And when you do see love happening, is it happening? And what does that look like?
Definitely do see a lot of lack of it. There's like no true like integrity nowadays, and then I think that's the biggest problem is the integrity. Um, you have now people saying, "Oh, like I'll love you if you can do this for me." I hear that all the time now. It's like, "Oh, I love you if you do this." Like, there's no unconditional love anymore, you know. And I mean, to be fair, most women are not going to love you, you know, unconditionally, and that's just facts. And I think we as men have to understand that. But I feel like when we put our best foot forward and put the best value of our best version of ourselves, we can actually get the most out of a woman, you know, if they're the right woman, you know, that will see that. Yeah.
And then for us that are looking for success in love, can you think of any successful relationships, any successful love on your side of Texas? Anything coming to mind in terms of success?
Not that I can think of.
Damn. Woo! That's harsh.
Yeah.
That's harsh, my boy, Chief Rocka. Because, you know, now I'm going to talk about some of the solutions that I've been able to implement, some of the couples that we've been able to create. And we're gonna talk about the future, right? We're gonna talk about some of the things that I've been helping the boys with, and hopefully be able to work out with you. Because I imagine that in your situation, the mother of your child is someone that you had like most men's hardwiring, had the best of intentions for, but at some point, whether it had been your money, power, status, fame, all these superficial fucking things, something about the purity of love wasn't good enough for her. So instead of sticking by you as a ride or die, for better or for worse, whether you were ready or not, she gave you a child, but ultimately wouldn't give herself to you. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Dime a dozen story, right? Everybody has that story. Something about the women is poison in the water. They see everything else beautiful on the internet, and they believe the grass is greener on the other side of the screen. So they start to disrespect you. And each of us, to some degree, have been disrespected by a woman, whether it be the first 5 minutes, the first hour, the first few years, or in some capacity, some fight has happened where a woman has disrespected you. Would you say that's true?
100%. You know, to add on to that, it's funny that you say that. Most of our fights were really just because, like, she thought I was being like a tyrant towards him. Like, nah, like, I'm trying to protect you not only from yourself, but like these other men out there. A lot of our fights are just like, I want to do this. I'm like, I don't know, that's a good idea. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you're being insecure. It's like, it's not that I'm being insecure. Mind you, a lot of her fights were when she was pregnant with our child. And it's just like, it got to the point where she would always like want to walk off. Like she'll walk out in the middle of the street at dark and just start walking because she's just mad. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to let you just do that shit. Anything can happen to you. You know what I mean?
So she's testing you. You lay down the law. And we don't have to go too personal if you don't want to, but she's testing you. You
No,
lay
that's
down.
fine. Honestly, it's honestly cool. I've done told the story 1,000 times.
Good shit. What happens when you're giving her your structure?
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the best at that time. It wasn't the best. I think my fault, and I take 100% accountability for the reason that our relationship ended. Reason why is because I am the man. There's a lot of things that I could have done better. I'm a lot better at it, but I used to have a temper problem. And I would just argue back and forth with her. And I think that's where I failed, honestly. Like, I was just like going down to her level and arguing with her. And I'm pretty sure that's what turned her off a lot too, just because I would let my emotions get the better of me. But like, it was like all about our son. So that's why I had so much compassion about that. Like, I would really emphasize on this. Like, look, you shouldn't do this because of this and that. And it's like, we were together now, and she would also do certain things. I'm like, look, you can't just be doing these things because we're in a relationship now. You represent us. It's no longer just about you. You know what I mean? So yeah, it wasn't the best. And I think that's where I was really failing, just because I didn't really get a grasp and control of it. Also wasn't in the best position myself. Like I said, I was trying to do a whole 180. I was telling you, like, I was being a degenerate and doing illegal stuff. So I was trying to turn all that around, trying to find like a foundation. And unfortunately, it just didn't work.
But the best part about this is that you have experience with women. So let me go ahead and talk to you about a couple things that I tell men. And since we're on talking about solutions right now, there's a bunch of things that I tell men to prevent that problem, because it is only natural that if you don't have a group of dudes or your dad or like a group of men that are teaching you how to deal with women and you're discovering how to do it all on your own, at some point, of course, you're going to get angry with these bitches because women are fucking. Bro, women are frustrating, right?
Say it, you can say it.
Women are very frustrating, but here's what I would say. Like, shout out to all the brothers in FNF that really truly believe in stoicism. But I kind of push stoicism into a corner, right? Because of God. I choose God over stoicism because, and I'm not talking about anyone specifically, but I do know that stoicism is pushed as an agenda for men, because it doesn't matter if you're poor, if it doesn't matter if you're rich, it gives you an idea of you being powerful. So when I was talking about selfishness versus selflessness, what I've noticed is that what happens is that the person is like going higher and higher to the top. It's all about me, me, me. I'm better, more power, more money, me, 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 me. In that line of thinking, when you're a man, men are very logical. Men are very number one plus number two, 1 and 2 together is number 3. And we like our life to go in a straight line. However, dealing with women, it is not such. Women are not a straight line about anything for the entirety of the relationship. And this is where I tell men to not be so problem solving as we are, not to be so logical as we are when you're dealing with women. This is a time where you stay within your frame, but can let that part of yourself down to enjoy your time with the woman. And if you understand women, which I am helping guys to do, if you understand women, you can do this dance with them without having so much of an issue, without getting frustrated, because you can expect them to constantly be a child, because most of them are. Recently, when I was talking to Chase, I told him there's a huge difference between what I call your indoor kitties and your outdoor kitties. Because I'm a guy who chooses to be in relationships with multiple women. I treat my indoor cats much different than I treat my outdoor cats. I know how to lay down the law, and I know what to expect from them. Now, as time goes forward, it's very important that you understand the next girl that you have, probably a younger woman than 28. You'll probably be 30. She'll probably be 22. You understand her better than she understands herself. You understand the chessboard and you understand her moves before she does. She has so much social awareness and all those beautiful things, but but you are the one who's setting the frame. You are the one that is in control, right? So, for example, I took out the guys just recently, and not every guy knows what a speakeasy is, right? But every girl knows what a speakeasy is. Have you ever heard of a speakeasy?
I never heard that term before.
Never heard that term. Okay, so here's what happens, right? Hot, beautiful women get invited to these dating locations. So what happens is that when you're with women, you have a lot of experience with women, which is what I want you to have in a day. Health, wealth, love. This is the love part. Happiness. Happiness would be like your sports, your hobbies, the things that make Chief Rocka fucking rock, you know? So health, wealth, love, happiness. A speakeasy, very beautiful. Like me personally, if you ask Demoy, he'll see that I select for very attractive women and all the problems that come with that, right? But very attractive women get invited to very decadent things, yachts, boats, planes. One of those things are speakeasies, right? Now, a speakeasy is like a secret. It's like a secret place inside of like a restaurant, a secret place inside of a lounge, a secret place inside of a bar. And what they do is they'll have like a bar, music, the lights are turned down very low. And what you have to do sometimes is you have to knock on the door and you need to know like a password, right? So the password will be like bricks or something, right? They don't always have passwords these days, I've noticed, but like you take the girl there, it's a romantic location. And many, many women are invited to these things. But because I have experience with women, I know what the women are thinking. So when I'm selecting for younger women, I have a lot of solutions in store for how I'm going to deal with the younger women. I've also had older women lie to me and tell me that they were younger than me to be in a relationship with me. But those women, as you would come to suspect, because they're older than me, had more experience on me, had more social awareness about me than I did, because they know as a 33-year-old man, at the time I was 32, the last time that happened, right? They know what I'm going to do because they understand the maturity of a man and what you could come to expect with a man as per dating dynamics. And men, honestly, in my opinion, are very simple about what we want. But, Chief, at some point in time, I'm sure that you've helped a girl with her hair. You've helped her put on some high heels. You've helped her zip up her dress. because women can't even be beautiful without us helping them. We got to help them all the way. We have to be the ones that lead the women, right? Now, one of the biggest problems that I'm finding with dudes, is broken up into a couple different sections. I'd say problem one, attraction, is like implementing, starting. Problem two, getting in a relationship and keeping the relationship. Problem three, having a frame. So as per solutions, right? Do you think that men need help attracting, coming up to, cold approaching, talking to women? Is that something that you foresee? And if that is a problem, what is your solution to that?
Yeah, I think they need to stop being pussies and just do it. I mean, I have to do it myself. You know what I mean? That's there's no. I mean, code approaching is like the most. It's like the most. It's like the old school thing. It's been there. It's universal. It's always going to be there, no matter what. I bet there's been times where I just said, like, fuck it. I saw a girl that was really cute, and I did my little pimp walk when I'm walking her. She sees me walking to her, and then she just starts putting a grind, like, oh, okay, let's see what he's about to do. What's going on? And then I just throw my spiel. I'm like, hey, you seem like a nice person. What's up? What's your name? You know, and then she asked me for my name. That's how I know I'm in the books. I don't always start off giving my name first. I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's your name? And I'm like, okay, nice to meet you, such and such. And then she's like, what's your name? I'm like, okay. And go from there. Yeah, it's definitely need to just code approach, man. That's the universal thing to do. And I think all men should start doing it. The worst thing is that I learned is that a girl can just say no. But you got to take those rejections, you know? Even like the hottest dudes in the world still get rejected. You know what I mean? So, like, we definitely need to they're just women, bro. That's all it is.
So, as you can imagine, because I do the matchmaking thing, I don't talk to every girl in a sexual capacity. I talk to the girls that I'm interested in romantically in a sexual capacity. But I talk to women very professionally on a professional level all the time, every day, as a matchmaker, right? So one of the biggest complaints that I'd say that I have as a dude for the women is that they're all like cookie cutter Barbies, right? They all have the same. They're all the same. They all say they're unique, but they're all the same. Lo and behold, come to find out, here's two of the biggest complaints. No dudes come up and talk to me is one of the biggest complaints. All the dudes are the fucking same. Same hip hop personality, same low energy vibration, same like he was listening to 50 fucking hours of hip hop per day, and he turned out to be the sum total of what that result would be, right? Not necessarily like how probably red pill brothers like ourselves are. Like, I read books. I'm sure you read books. I'm always seeking education, no matter what I'm doing. I'm always improving my brand and improving my personal brand, right? I was just at the gym. I was just boxing. I'm improving my fighting skills. So I'm on a constant quest for improvement, with or without the red pill. That's kind of been a tenement of my life. I am a DJ. I'm a producer. I am a rapper. I can freestyle the fuck out of anything. But in real life, I'm listening to classical music all the fucking time when I go to bed, or like in real life, I'm expanding my brain. So when a woman gets to be with me romantically and she discovers these things about me, I've noticed my attraction to the woman remains constant until she says something or fucks it up and I don't like her anymore, you know? But the attraction remains constant, right? But one of the things that the females complain about is that these motherfuckers are all the same or some sort of pussy. So let me ask you about that. Why are the men pussies now, bro? Why? What happened?
Definitely the social media. The media, definitely, for sure. I say pornography as well. That's a big problem. I feel like a lot of dudes are just beating their meats too much because it's more convenient. It's more comfortable for them. You know, they can just lay in their bed and just beat their meat. And a lot of men are okay with that. You know, I mean, you got dudes subscribing to OnlyFans and stuff like that. So definitely the media, man, and not too many good role models for men. But I think that's the reason why the media pushes on that. You know, they want to silence the men that are trying to speak up and be that example. And I mean, it's a no fucking brainer. We know what they're trying to do. They're trying to silence those type of people, those type of guys, you know?
So everything that I'm saying, I'm applying to you too, right? I'll have you know that I've been cold approaching my entire life. And only at this point in time have I been analyzed by other FNF brothers, right? In our clubs and stuff. And because there's two, there's CEO Network and Castle Club, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've come to find out that I've been analyzed and they're telling me things about myself that I didn't even know. For example, what I call normal, cold approaching women, they call a skill. I didn't know that I had a skill. I just know that I do what I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I was in a conversation with Demoy, and I told him this. I was like, bro, if this was a television, I never looked at the TV, or like if this was social media, I never looked at the social media and then became stupid. Like it just never happened. Like I never got brainwashed by this thing to the point where I said, well, I'm not going to cold approach anymore. Fuck it. I don't want to talk to the hot girls anymore. I'm just going to go look at my computer all day. And then that becomes your lifestyle.
Mm.
It has happened for not even just kids. It has happened in general. It's happened for the most, in general, on average, most men are experiencing this difficulty. And I'll tell you what, man, when I go out and I see these beautiful girls walking in groups, the reason that you'll see me, especially like when I'm putting it out there on social media, the reason that you'll see me pull them in multiples, literally, it's easier for me to pull them in multiples than to do solo sometimes, is because it's wide open. It's a wide open field. There's so many men not hitting on the women. These girls want attention. Right. So I perceive for myself as somebody who enjoys multiple women, and that's what I select for. It's going to be easier and easier and easier for someone with my mentality. So I try to teach that mentality to brothers like yourself and brothers who are interested in having multiple children and providing the life to multiple women. I really go out of my way to like say, it's just going to be easier if you develop the skills. It's just going to be it's going to be something that they appreciate. It's going to be something that they will love for. If you can structure out your relationship the right way, they will absolutely love to do that. I've never had multiple girlfriends that hated each other. I've had multiple girlfriends that, like, let's say like a 2-girlfriend scenario. They'll still be friends after I'm done with them. They love that. I've never been in a situation where you select for that and they're all like about that and they don't love it after, you know? And I do want that to be the future of Matchmaker for the men that select that way. I want Red Pill Brothers to be known for this. I want Red Pill Brothers to be known that, like, not only do we change the world, change the community, change the people in the brotherhood, develop each other, but I love her and I love her too. And there's nothing wrong with that because I'm tired of you pushing your fucking agendas in our face. So we're going to reverse it a lot more hard.
Oh, yeah.
You a-holes. Now, as far as, again, like we're still on the topic of solutions as per love, what can we do, Chief Rocka, to get people to lead, not sexually, but to have love, not be in love for men? Women should be in love and men should have love if they're going to have a relationship, right? What can we do to get men more in love with health, wealth, love, happiness, the love portion of their life, to get them more involved, even using social media, whatever, brother? What can we do to get the men more love forward instead of sex forward?
Honestly, I get this doing the best we can, just trying to put it out there and just kind of like throw it back in their face, you know, kind of how these algorithms work where they trap all this agenda. I mean, we can just reverse that ourselves and get more men together and spread the word, you know what I mean? Because it can happen, you know. I like to be optimistic about the future, you know, despite what's going on currently. I like to be optimistic because I 100% believe that good is always going to win in the end. It's always going to triumph the evil. You know what I mean? And I feel like us, like what we're doing, I feel like we need to just keep putting the word out there, be the example ourselves, and really push men to love themselves dearly. Because if they don't love themselves first, how the hell they're going to end up loving some other chick? You know what I mean? And I think most of that is like guys are just, they're alone and they want attention, which I don't blame them. I mean, we all want attention from someone, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, we definitely need to start with, you know, loving ourselves and pushing the word around to each guy and get the word out as much as possible.
Yes, I'll tell you what I've been up to, right? I'll tell you what I've come to find, some of the problems, and we're gonna come up with some solutions. One of the things I told Jay the car guy, I take off my shoes, I go to a big green field, and I pray to God every day like crazy. During the time I pray to God, I send Bible verses to Icy. I'm always doing Bible studies with her. She is an important tenement to many of the things that we're talking about, right? And one of the things that I go on to say is that in this networking that I've done with some of the brothers that we have in our own network, I have found some things that are heartbreaking, bro. Some of the things that are heartbreaking for the brothers is some of them think, and they're younger than us, but some of them think that their only value is their monetary value, the number in their bank account. They think the money in the bank account is their value. And I go on to teach them, well, that is an important tenement, brother. but it's more about your character, your experience, what you're willing to do for the world, who you can be to another person. Because I don't give a fuck if you had $1 in 2021 or $1 million in 2024. If you have the skill to get the money and the ambition to get the money, and you can lose the money and make it again, that's more important. That you're a fucking hustler and you have these skills. That's a more important tenement of your life than to appraise your life as to just be a monetary value. And some other heartbreaking things is that, like, for an example, one of the brothers that was briefly in a conversation with me, and he had to go off into a different group, but in a brief conversation, his problem was like, he didn't like it. I don't like when I'm talking to a girl and I go and I talk to her at a party and she ignores me and goes and walks off and talks to somebody else, and I was there first, and I don't like how that is. And I told him, brother, listen, look, if you go and you check out my Instagram, you'll see me in a lot of scenarios with a lot of different women. But I, as an individual, don't think about me, Chris. I don't do that. In much of the relationship between me being thirsty to a cold cup of ice water, I don't need to say that I want the water. I know that when I'm thirsty, I don't even have to think about it. I'm going to drink the water because I am what the girls want. I become what the women want. I know that they want me. It's not about what I want. They want me because I'm, like, for example, maybe being fun with them, maybe giving them attention and being charismatic with them, maybe just being loving and kind towards them, maybe showing them a good time and a good night and a good adventure. And if you can do something like that, then, brother, you definitely deserve a relationship, or at least a girl for some point in your life for some time. Now, whether that girl becomes an indoor kitty or an outdoor kitty, those are different things. Right. Yeah, I'll sum that up for you real quick. I'd say an indoor kitty is the girl that you keep inside your house and you never let her out. No, she's the girl who's like, she's the girlfriend. She's the one that is going to, like, if you're doing dieting, she's in there and she cares about your diet. You're doing business, she cares about the business. You want her to do, like, some paperwork or something simple task because you want to make the job special to her. If you can make the job that you're doing in your life, for example, like if it was a trucking thing and she knew that waiting for you was special to her, or if you're doing like you said, you were doing like driving Uber. I did that in college, by the way, for a little while. But let's say that, Chief Rocka starts like his own trucking company and now they're all coming from Rocka Inc., right? She knows that when she does the paperwork at Rocka Inc., it's so special. This job is so special as delineated by you for her to do that it's the bigger future, it's the bigger plan, and it's always going to be that way. And it's the bigger plan for the kids and the children and the lineage. And she knows when she talks to one of your brothers who hold her accountable, because we're in a red pill community, that she knows to say good things about you and keep your respect high and keep your ambitions high. That's an indoor kitty, those are beautiful girls to have relationships with. Outdoor kitties are more like the girls that I bring to the DJ booth. They're out, they're about. They might belong to me. They might not belong to me. They're good to me. They're out here. They're doing their thing. They should belong to me. But you never know with your outdoor kitties. Like right. you invite them on the text. You invite them. They're coming out to all the clubs. They're coming out to all the shows. And then as per the individual girl that you've selected, that relationship may or may not develop, But they're your women. They're with you. They're your ladies, For the better part of what a relationship is, they're your girls. So what I would go on to ask you is, what do you think for the men that are attracting women and are getting into the relationship phase? What are some of the problems that you're seeing there?
That's a good question.
In general, you could use your own experiences or things that you've seen.
I'm trying to think of something, but I don't think I can.
The red pillars or the blue pillars?
I know that there's like a little facade, there's some guys that are keeping girls, but they're using mostly money to keep them, and some guys might look at them like, oh, like he got his girl, but for all we know, she probably just got in the bag just because of the fact that he has money. I see that.
You said that you do cold approach. You have no problem with that, right? in cold approaching or in having women in general, I do know that a lot of guys will lie to girls. I've never had to do this to attract women. Lie, tell them a bunch of things. What the fuck is up with that? What is their plan?
Hopefully just to get laid. I guess they're just trying to get to that part where they get laid. I never understood that either, just because, like, me personally, I don't like to lie because, you can bullshit somebody, but you can't bullshit yourself. And we all have that inner thought in our head. It's a feeling you feel like, bro, why did you just say that? And no one bashes myself more than I do. If I fuck up on something, I'm like, my own conscience is already getting at me. You know what I mean? So I couldn't do it. I don't understand why. I just be myself. I put my best foot forward, and if I win, I win. If I don't, then oh well. On to the next one.
There you go. Like, I'll give you an example, right? I was just like of telling the truth and how that works very well. So any of you guys watching, please don't lie to these women. Be yourself. Be a little bit more authentic. And I do respect your time. I know about your time. I got you, brother. I was just at the gym with, again, Brother Demoy, and I went up to a very beautiful girl. She was in my eyes, she was the most aesthetically pleasing girl to look at. And she had like the whole rounded butt. She's, clearly into the competition. She's clearly doing bodybuilding of some sort. So I go up and I talk to her. She only speaks Spanish. Okay, so I don't give a fuck. I don't speak Spanish. So I told her what I could. I said, I was as direct as I possibly could. I was like, mamacita, papi, mama. Yo te amo, I love you. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things. I'm very, very direct with her, right? And then I open up Google Translate. I send her, after I get the Instagram, I send her a message in Spanish so me and her could talk in that way. But being very authentic, being very straight to the point, she's very receiving of it. Kiss on the cheek, hug, very happy, big smiles. Everything was good to go. So I would rather have men have that experience than like try to deceive the girl, leaving a stain on your soul in order to quell nothing out of a fucking pointless sex relationship thing. I mean, if you bond with somebody, a beautiful girl, you're gonna have sex by bonding with her. That's all they do, bro. What the fuck? Women are fucking horny. What else do they do?
Yeah. No, I hear on that. The Sunday I went out to a sports bar, and I ran into a couple locals, and there's this one older lady. Her name's Pam. She's a sweet lady. Like the more she saw me, the more we had small talk. But like this Sunday, we finally because she's like cool with the DJ, and I'm cool with the DJ too. So we were all like taking shots together, and then we just started talking, and then she just started getting very friendly, very close, and I didn't get lucky that night, but it felt nice that, I was bonding with her, like I was even spinning her around, dancing with her, and she was like all up on me, we kissed a little bit and everything. And I could tell I was making her night, she seemed, and she was a white lady. So the DJ Mike put on some bachata. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna teach you how to dance bachata. And she picked it up real quick. And I could tell like she was really enjoying herself on the dance floor. I was just teaching her, spinning her around, and she was all over me the whole entire night.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, bro. Because you see, look, ladies, it's not all about sex with men. The fact that he could enjoy her femininity, that is what you enjoyed, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, bro. She was letting me lead, like it made me feel more like a man. And we get rushed off that, you know what I mean? Like, those moments when you're with your girl and you're doing your own thing. Like, a good example, I actually had a good girl at one point. I fucked it up. I was young and dumb. But this girl really, really cared about me. I was her first everything and all that. At the time, I didn't understand why, but now that I think about it, this makes sense. So, it's a Halloween night, right? She comes over and wants to hang out. We're watching Halloween, and I'm like putting candy in the little pumpkin thing, plastic pumpkin, and I'm handing out candy to all the kids that come and ring the doorbell. And I'm making cookies. I'm like doing all this stuff, right? And I could tell like when I was like passing out candy to the kids, I can tell she was just sitting there, like kind of leaning on the wall, just like smiling. And I close the door and I turn around and she just smiles. I'm like, what? She's like, oh, nothing, And then like I'm like here baking cookies and shit, and we're watching movies. And then like the movie wasn't even finished, like, and she was just like, babe, and I'm like, what? And then she just started like trying to she started rubbing on my dick on the outside of my pants, like, come on, I want to suck your dick right now. I'm like, what's going on with you, girl? Hold on. Like, and then the doorbell's ringing again. More kids are coming. I'm like, all right, hold on. I'm like, hey, my left, go check on the cookies for me real quick. And I'm like passing out candy, close the door, and she's just getting more excited. And I'm like, what's going on? I think that it's the fact that she loved that she was like being her feminine, let me do thing, and I was like being a man. and she loved that. And I didn't understand at that point, but yeah, man, the whole entire time she was just like, "Hey, come on, let's just go. Like, turn the lights off. Let's just go to the room right now. Like, it's like I want to suck you up and all this." I'm like, "Girl, what's wrong with you? Like, did you take something? What's going on?"
There you go. Side note, ladies, we enjoy femininity. So you know what, DJ? I mean, Chief Rocka, we have talked about matchmaker, demoralization, love, and solutions, but we're going to talk about you right now. I'm going to give you something that I've been working on, and then I want you to go ahead and talk about yourself.
Okay.
I don't know how much time that I have with you here, so I'm trying to like.
I can spare another 20 minutes.
Good shit. All right, so are you there? Are you there? Hello? All right, there. Yeah. You're back. All right, good stuff. All right, cool. So as you probably know from DJ Matchmaker, which is something that I do, I take music and I put together matchmaking events now, the purpose of which is to bring people together in the name of love, to get them to really fall in love at these parties, have relationships with each other, not hookup culture, but love culture, right? Health, wealth, love, happiness. Get people there in the context of love. Mm-hmm. The event was sold to you as this way. The event is themed that way. The event is about this, and all the profits from that is something that I plan on using to help people as a philanthropist with people who need to be fed, people who need to be clothed, people who need to get off the streets, giving people sex education. And those kind of things is what I am doing with the future of Matchmaker. But let's talk about the future of Chief motherfucking Rocka, bro. I know you in these clubs, man. I know you out here. You've seen things. You got big dreams for this world. Tell me what you're all about, bro. Show me what you want your future to be. You have children. You have a child. What are you thinking for you, man? Kids, business, anything.
Well, just like yourself, for the third act of my life, I definitely want to get back to the world. This is something I've been thinking about for the longest. Where I see myself, like towards like maybe like middle age already, I already want to be having my wife or wives, whoever it might be, and I really want to start my own personal charity fund. I want to give back. I want to help people out. I want to help kids that are fatherless, help them out, especially help out single moms that have been through like domestic abuse from husband. Kids that have been sexually molested. I want to help a lot of those people out. People that lost their homes and events, whether it be a fire or, because a hurricane happened and blew their house out. Like I really want to start a huge fund where I can give back to the people. And yeah, man, that's really where I really see myself, or all I really care, man. Obviously I want to be in the best shape of my life, the best version I can be the man that I see myself being. I'm trying to be my own superhero for not only me, but for my children, for my son, and then my future kids and my future wives. But that's really all I really care about, man. Yeah, I'm a little materialistic. I like cars and stuff like that. But to be honest, all that stuff doesn't really matter to me because,
once you have a car, it's a car. So let me ask you this, brother. We're gonna speak some truth right here, right now. We're gonna make this happen. You're gonna say the words. It's gonna happen, right? How do you plan on achieving this? Like, for example, if VR is popular tomorrow and you have to do VR marketing, are you doing this through Zoom, podcasts, live events, VR? Like, how do you see yourself doing that in the third act of your life?
Definitely starting with social media. I really get the most foot traffic on just my own personal page on my Instagram. Definitely going to start using Rumble. I'm glad we did this because I finally set up the Rumble Studio account. I was like telling myself for the longest. Last time when Chris, the owner of Rumble, was on Fresh and Fit, and he was talking about like the advertisements that you can do, I was like, man, that's like, because I would like to start like a trucking blog as well. Me, like, doing my daily thing. But yeah, definitely start using like the social platforms that we got available. Definitely would like to start using some more like free speech ones because it's annoys the hell out of me how there's certain things that I can't even post, even if it's about myself, on my stories on Instagram without saying, oh, like, this kind of content and yada yada, all this bullshit. Very annoying.
Very good. So first and foremost, shout out to Chris. I want to just say that because of what you just said, because that helps us have this parallel economy here, which
God bless that man.
Yeah, fuck yeah. It's running against the blue pill economy. We have a parallel economy based on free speech. From my perspective, it went Matchmaker, then the Brotherhood. Then the Brotherhood was able to make enough money to give that to Chris so he can do this. Mm-hmm. So this all connected very well. Shout out to you, Chris. I told Jay, the car guy, I have something to tell you personally to make your game even more solid, brother. I got some advice I'd like to throw your way, Chris. So if we ever get a chance to link up, the first thing I'm going to do is tell you about that. And then my boy, Chief Rocka, you see that American flag I got over here, right?
I do.
You're literally telling me You want to help people that have been through some tragic things. You want to give your time. Even a man who has children wants to give his time to people who have been through fucking personal tragedies, man. What do you want to say to the American people? We don't even know. You could be president one day doing this, bro. What do you want to say to your people right here, right now? Your Americans in this country, based on the conversation we had, what do you want them to know?
I want them to know that, first of all, everyone's here for a purpose, you know what I mean? And I think it's here, obviously, we're all here to have children, right? And, you know, conceive and have families. I think we really need to push on that back again. We really work for something, you know. I know a lot of people go through their own thing and they might feel some type of way, you know. I am myself as well, you know. I wasn't always the most confident that I am now, you know. It took me actually, you know, having a kid and going through a couple of struggles and trials and errors. But everyone here is important, you know, despite our own personal beliefs and stuff like that. But I'm speaking for the good people, genuine people that, you know, don't want to cause harm to anyone, you know, just minding their own business, you know, I feel me? Because most people, they just want to be alone, left alone, do their own thing. And I get that, you know, I get that. I want them to know that you can be whoever you want to be in life. Obviously, be the best version of yourself. And in return, give that to the next person next to you. Because someone definitely needs it, you know what I mean? They truly do.
I love what you're saying, bro, because in health, wealth, love, and happiness, it makes me feel like, based on what you're saying, that wealth is in the children. It makes me feel like you're saying, Chris, you don't need to focus on being a billionaire. All the people of the world, you don't need to focus on being a billionaire. Instead of hiring all these people as a billionaire, why not just hire your kids or give them a legacy? Why not let the wealth be your family? So stop pulling out, start praying to God, and start hustling.
Amen to that, man. Amen to that.
Fuck yeah, man. We need some big, better love in this country. We need some bigger and better moves in this country. And we need people like you. Based on this conversation, Anthony, Chief Rocka, you have got a great motherfucking head on your shoulders. My cousin will do nothing but give you fucking wisdom to get you to go from point A to point B for where you're going at 28 years old. You ain't gonna have no fucking problems in life. Because let me tell you something, your hustle is gonna compound. You keep praying to God, which is the first thing I do every day. The first thing I do every day when I wake up, the first thing I do is thank God. The first thing I do in the morning is pray God. God everything all day. I don't see too much of that in this red pill space, but it's gonna change, man, because God is a virtue. You do this one thing. You pray to your Lord every single day. All of his riches will be added onto you. Don't store up your material wealth here, store it up there. You are a fucking hustler boss, Chief Rocka. What the fuck? Where can people find you? And what's the next thing that we're going to see from you? And when am I going to see you again, big brother?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. It's Chief Rocka Official. That's where I'm mostly at. Next thing for me is definitely growing my skill set into the trucking business. Eventually, I am going to start that vlogging, that trucking vlogging, and eventually it's going to transition to just like my daily life and what I plan to do. Definitely going to be spreading the more message, getting more people out. I'm really trying to target more of I'm a short guy. I'm 5'5", so I know that this whole
don't matter.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm trying to help a lot of guys who deal with that situation. We're thinking that, oh, just because I'm 5'5", because all they see on social media is all these women saying like, oh, if you're not 6 foot, I don't you have no chance, you know. I'm 5'5", but if I see a chick that's taller than me that's 6'5", I'm gonna go and try to climb that damn tree. I don't give a shit. Worst thing she can say is no.
Yes, I fuck with that, bro.
Most of my ex-girlfriends and even the mother of my child, they're all taller than me. They didn't stop me.
So you're proof that it doesn't fucking matter. If you have the right attitude and you got the right hustle and the right ambition, they're women. There are women. God created them for us. We give them the program. They are easily programmed. We fucking say what it is and they go with it.
Quick little story. So I got sent out to Oklahoma to go pick up this one trailer. And then when I got there, it was like dead empty. It was only a security booth. And then there was this cute redhead, Ginger. She's a little bit older, but she was tall. And the first thing I said is like, wow, you're tall. How tall are you? She's like, oh, I'm 6'2". I'm like, what's the highlight from what's the view like from up there? And she like laughed. She's like, oh, you're so funny. And then she put her hand on my shoulder. It's like, you're so funny. Like, I really appreciate that. And I was just like, yeah, man, like, yeah, you gotta make jokes, man. You just gotta make jokes.
Yes, and that shows you God put those women here for us to have a fun time with them, to be funny. You know what I mean? It's so clear to me. It's so obvious that they were made to serve us, and you're supposed to be fun with them, not so
It'll be
serious.
fun. And I like that too. Like she put her hand on my shoulder, like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to touch you." I'm like, no, that's okay. You can go ahead. You can touch me. Then sure enough, she put her hand back on my shoulder, and we were just talking and laughing. You know what I mean? Like, just like I just find it so funny that that this is a big old thing, and I think guys need to stop focusing too much on that. Like, oh, bro, like I'm not 6 foot, so like it's not gonna work out. You know, like, bro, height doesn't matter, bro. Bro, I met plenty of dudes that are like 6'5" and are fucking pussies. They can't even be men to their own kids. They're like abandoning their kids, being stupid and reckless, bro. Like, so none of that bullshit matters. Like, you don't listen to the BS, man. That's why I tell everybody out there, like, don't listen to the BS, man.
It's all materialistic. It's all superficial. I'll tell you this: I'm over 6 feet, and when I went out with the boys, you see me in the casino. All those boys are over my heights, right? And like in the pictures, I'm like, "Y'all boys make me look short." And I think it's funny because it doesn't matter is what the point of the funny joke, right?
Mhm.
And personally, me in my real life, real women that are models that I'm actually attracted to that are taller than me, I can't resist them. I can't resist them, bro. They're so fucking hot and beautiful and attractive. There's nothing stopping me. They're just so fucking beautiful and big, and everyone can see them. You know, I'm not gonna say no. I'm gonna go up there and see what I can do. So height is some bullshit, brother. It don't fucking matter at all, at all, at all. You have
It don't matter, man. It does not matter. It's all about up here, man. Wherever I go, I purposely, when I'm going out in public, I'm always making sure that my chin is up, my chest is out, I'm walking with confidence. I tend to have a somewhat kind of a resting bitch face. I don't know why. That's just my face. But as soon as you talk to me, like, I put on a smile on my face. I'm walking around like this. I'm like, but as soon as you talk to me,
Hey.
you know, that's something I do out of me, just to like let motherfuckers know, like, hey, I'm on one. Don't fucking try me. Don't try me.
There you go. You're a man 24/7, bro. I like that. Because so far, what I know about you is that you're cool. And if you're cool and you can make anything personable and you're willing to go out and cold approach and nothing hinders you, you can, bro, you're unstoppable. If you can make anything, you can, like with dudes, like the dude that I was telling you that had a problem with the ladies earlier, like I want them to talk to me at the party. He doesn't know how to make himself cool. So we got to help him with that. But you know how to make yourself cool no matter what the fuck it is. That's what being a man is all about. Yeah, I get hit with an obstacle. Fuck you. I make this obstacle my strength, bitch. Welcome to Chief Motherfucking Rocka's house, boy.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let me tell you something. I'm enjoying the fuck out of this conversation with you. Personally, when we do our Zoom calls with FNF, I have talked so many times that I'm kind of pulling back for a little bit, right? So because I got a chance to talk to the boys, everybody kind of knows who I am now, as I've heard. I would like you to do some of these Zoom calls. I'd like you to raise your hand and go ahead and let's hear more of the Chief Rocker personality. I really think you're a good thing for men in the red pill space. I really think dudes need to, like, once they hear you out, I've been talking to you for an hour now, about 40, 50 minutes into this, I'm like, yeah, this motherfucker knows things. I think the red pill space needs you, my boy. So are you down to do that? You down to raise your hand? And when I watch it, I get a chance to see you ask some like delineating, thought-provoking questions.
Yeah, I am. I mean, for the most part, I do raise my hands. What are you talking about?
I have seen it before. I have seen it before when you're in the truck. I have, but keep doing it, bro. I want to see more of that.
Most definitely, man. You definitely got to see me more in person, bro. I'm a whole different person. Like when it starts getting competitive, like going in the gym. I like to do jiu-jitsu too, man. That's funny, bro. So I do jiu-jitsu on the side when I have the chance, when I can. And honestly, that really helped me build a lot of my confidence. You know what I mean? And like with the skills that I have learned, the time that I have put in there, it's definitely help out a lot. You know, like that's why, like, bro, like the whole height thing is just a bunch of bullshit, because with the skills that I learned in X amount of months that I'm training, shout out to Alvarez Jiu-Jitsu in Arlington, Texas. And we get new guys that are like twice my size, and then like I use the skills that I learned from our coach and I apply it to these guys that are twice my size. I end up beating them, bro. You know what I mean? It's a skill set. It's just a skill set, you know. And it's crazy because it's what's even crazy. I'm like Captain America, like.
Yeah, there we go.
When Iron Man's like, stay down, final warning, and Cap's just like, I could do this all day. bro, I've gone against black belts who just kept on like whooping my ass, and I just get back up, and I'm like, all right, let's go again. And they keep beating me. I get back up. I'm the first one up. I make sure I'm the first one up, even though I'm out of breath. I'm like, come on. And then these black belts are like, hold on, bro, I need to catch my breath. Like, you're just too much right now. I'm like, yes, I won. You didn't beat me. You know, like you might have made me tap out, but it's right here. Like you didn't break me. And they tell me that, like, bro, like I appreciate that. Like I appreciate that, man. Like that's really awesome. And I'm like, that's all it really is, man. You know what I mean?
So here's what I would tell you, right? To add to your story there a little bit. Well, I remember I was 17 years old, and I fought this guy who was a black belt, but he was like 20 something years old. And it was right then that I learned when I won and beat him, the black belts don't mean anything in America at all, right? Just a bunch of bullshit. Because fighting is a mentality and a stature. So I just got back from the gym right now, right, with Brother Des Moines, and I took the phone, I set it up on a tripod. You're gonna see some of those posts happening now, but can we see that with you? Can you throw some fighting content out there? Let us know what Brother Chief Rocka is all the fuck about.
Oh, so I'm glad you brought that up. So, you know, I'm part of the Dallas Council Club, right? Since I'm
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to them boys.
Shout out to them boys, bro.
Shout out to Jay the car guy. He's out there in Texas right now.
Yes, sir. He's in the same city as I am, Arlington.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Arlington, Texas. You guys don't know that's where the Cowboys play and the Texas Rangers play.
Yeah.
Arlington. I'm definitely gonna make sure that I do my very best to get more Arlington on the map. More people are aware of it. But
nice.
What I plan on doing. So I actually talked to somebody. Shout out to Coach Derwin Lamb. He's out here out of Fort Worth. He has his own fighting gym. He actually trained a couple guys in the UFC. One of them right now that he's striking coach he's for is Kevin Holland. I don't know if you ever heard of Kevin Holland. Trailblazer, they call him Big Mouth. Okay. Well, when you get a chance, look up Kevin Holland. But he was born in Cali, but he's out here out of Fort Worth. And crazy thing is, I actually met Kevin Holland when I was actually doing Uber. I picked him up back during 2020. Yeah, during COVID, actually. During 2020 is when I had picked him up. And sure enough, he invited me out to Coach Lamb's Striking Academy. And that's how I ended up getting known to Coach Lamb. Well, anyways, I actually talked to Coach Dorn. And I actually had sent him a message saying, hey, I'm part of a group called Council Club Dallas. And I'm trying to get men to come together to like learn how to defend themselves. Because eventually these men are going to want to have families and have wives. And they want to be in a position where they can protect their family. And then he like ends up, he's like, it sends me a DM back, and he said he was down, and we're just doing small talk. But then, sure enough, like a day later, he's like, "Hey, man, here's my number. Call me. I need to talk to you." So I called Coach Derwin, and he was like, "Yo, it's crazy that you're hitting me up because I feel like this is like a message. Like this is like God sending me." And he's telling me, "Yeah, he's like, I really appreciate you reaching out to me." And yes, it's exactly what I'm trying to do. He even told me like, I told him like, yeah, have you ever heard of Fresh? Like, yeah. It's like I'm a big fan of Myron. Like, I like what he stands for. And he's on the same board, same train as us. Like, you understand what's going on, how they're trying to, turn men into women and all that bullshit, and he's really for that, pushing for men to be men and to be protectors and providers and lead our women. And he's like down. So like, whenever, we're trying to get more people within the Council Club to show up more at our Zoom calls every weekend. And once we get a good setting going, we're going to start getting in touch with Coach Duran, and we're going to start training with him. And when Fresh and Fit come down, Coach Duran's going to come down, and he wants to meet Myron himself and have a talk with him. He has a good story. But yeah, man, and I'm saying like it's crazy how all this is now like coming together. Like it's like we're all connected. Like I think like all of us men that really want the change, like, yes, exactly. Like we're making wars at each other, Yeah. And everyone that's listening, everyone that's on the same path as us, they see them, they hear it, they hear the message, and it's like a beacon. We're all getting called, and like slowly but surely, we're coming together, man. And I'm telling you, God is great, man. God is great.
I'll tell you what I've learned about you. You have more mental strength in your fucking pinky than most dudes have in their whole body. Number one. Number two, this fighting thing that you're talking about, before you get a chance, right, in the third act of your life to help people that have gone through all these things that you were talking about that are real deep issues, right? What I'm seeing is you're showing God, probably a future president right here talking, You're showing God, sitting on the firmament above, you're showing him, look, God, you gave me this, and I'm making soldiers for you in your name, in your honor, and your glory. You told me that I could fight, and now I'm going to give that gift of warriorship to my brothers. So for whatever war is to be in front of us, whatever be in the midst of our path and our journey, not only will I be ready, but I'm showing you, God, your creations will be ready too. And when I build fucking men and I build warriors, families come from that too, Lord. And I'm showing you, not only can I lead these men on a great path, but I can help people in the future. Don't you think God is going to bless you, Chief? Don't you think
100%.
God is looking at you and rewarding you in all your mentality and all your moves right now? You are a walking blessing, motherfucker.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I 100% agree with you, man. I feel like that's like my purpose now. Now it's starting to make sense, you know. I didn't know exactly what is it I wanted to do in my life, but now, with everything that's going on, it really hit me, and I realized what I have to do. I got to do what I can. I got to do it for my kids. I got to do it for my brothers, because I'm telling you right now, these big old elites, they're trying to silence us. But I'm telling you right now, one thing they can't stop us if we have loyalty. If we have a bunch of brothers that are loyal together, it's hard for them to break that.
Yes, sir. I got a chance to briefly run into at the live event Wes Watson. And then he has a friend named King Ines, and I've seen him on the Fresh and Fit podcast, and King said something very profound that stood out to me. He said, God does not choose the prepared. No. God chooses, and then he prepares.
I like that.
That's where you are, brother.
Hell yeah, man. I'm really glad I got on this call with you, man.
Me too. This couldn't be more of a blessing in disguise.
You taught me a couple things today too, man. You taught me, damn, I need to work on my speech more. I'm not used to doing this, you know. This is actually the first time I've ever done something like this, so I don't think I did too bad. Be honest with me.
Great, bro. Podcasting is a muscle. The first time that I started doing these, because I've done like entertainment, I've been an actor, I've done like I've done fighting videos, I've done many videos in social media in my life, but podcasting, I had moments where in the beginning of doing it, I blank out, like, what the fuck was I just about to say?
Right, yeah.
But the more that you use your listening muscles and you're able to recall what the guest just said, you're my guest, you're the guest, you get to run the show however you want, and I am to guide you. The more that you're able to listen to the guest, the more you can have a developed conversation. So as your future goes forward and you can help people, it's really listening to them and being of service selflessly and of value to them out of love. You're able to do that, brother, you'll be able to do this tenfold. You want to rock the motherfucking Rumble Studio campaigns? There's a bunch of cash waiting there for you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely going to start working more on that, man. Because, man, you're lighting a fire in a billion more, man. Like, shit, man. Like, I'm really glad we're all getting together. All of us,
Hell
you
yeah.
know what I mean?
Get one of these wireless mics, put it on your phone, put one of these wireless mics while you're doing your Chief Rocka shit, and just do Rumble if you can safely. Do that on the go. You know what I'm saying? Do what you can, brother.
You got to send me the link to that thing, man.
I'll do it. I'll send it to you right now, man.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Looks like we're wrapping up here. Have a blessed time with your child, man. And I cannot wait to see you soon. Let these people know as you're signing out, you know, where they could find you. I know you said it before, where they could find you, what you got to do, what you're looking out for. Give me some final words here, Chief Rocka.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys can follow me again at Chief Rocka Official on Instagram. That's the only thing I got so far, but gonna end up working on Rumble. If I can just saying this, guys, is whatever you want to do, guys, do it. Don't let them stop you. Stay consistent, and I guarantee you will get yourself in a better position. Me being in the spot I am now as a trucker, I'm making the most money I ever in my life, and I didn't realize I was able to do all this. You know, all it took was a little effort and something. You really got to focus on something that really matters to you and channel all your energy in that, and you'll get where you want to be in life.
Fuck yeah. So on that note, it looks like you and me both have a fire lit under our ass from the Lord, showing us our purpose in life.
Yes, sir.
And on that note, I cannot wait to see you again and talk to you again, brother. It's been fucking amazing. Shout out to my cousin for me, and you and me will do this again soon, bro.
Definitely will. And next time we do, man, I'm going to be a lot better. I guarantee that.
Bro, you did fantastic. I'll prepare you more with more bullet points. We'll go a little bit more ahead of time. And I'll make sure to spend a little time with you on the phone so we can know what we're doing for real. We'll chat, bro.
Most definitely, brother.
Good luck, brother, man. Can't wait to see you again. Good luck on your truck and stay safe.
Yes,
And
sir.
keep setting that beautiful example for that beautiful child of yours, man.
Oh, man. Thank you, brother.
All right, brother. Talk soon.
We'll talk soon, man. Take care. Oh, we still here?
Oh, shit. Okay, good. Good shit. All right. Well, it's about to end, but fuck, I thought